And for this week on Garden Goodies, I'm in Merrill at Jim Yingling's place, and he grows a lot of different things, as you can see, out here in the garden and in the orchard, and we're going to take a look at a special thing that you like to grow. And here's one area, one row, where he has some parsnips. Now, these were planted last year, right?
Yep.
Last spring?
Yep, planted them in the spring. They grow all through the year, and then leave them in the ground in the fall. Generally, they get covered with snow. This past winter, not so much. I was a little bit concerned about how they would fare with not having that much snow cover, but you leave them in the ground, and then in the spring, they'll come back to life, and then you dig them. And they're so much sweeter when you dig them in the spring.
That's the main thing. They taste different. Like in the fall, you say they taste kind of starchy.
Yeah, they're starchier. They're more almost like a potato. You harvest them in the spring, and all those starches have turned to sugar from being frozen through the winter.
And here you can see some of the parsnips that Jim has grown. And like he said, they're kind of white colored, and this time of year, they're really sweet. How do you usually cook them? Yeah,
so we use them in roasts a lot in place of carrot. When we make roasts or stews, we just cut them up in sticks and steam them, a little bit of butter and seasoning on them. And my mother always made them for my father by peeling them and cutting them in discs, blanching them lightly, and then rolling them in egg and crumbs, and then pan frying
them.
Oh, so that was three different ways that they can be utilized.
So they look like carrots, and you can use them kind of like
a carrot.
Like a carrot.
Yep.
Well, thanks so much, Jim, for all the advice on growing and cooking the parsnips. Yes, and you guys are enjoying some of Jim's parsnips.
My mouth is full.
That's right. Yeah. He mentioned maybe putting him in stew or soup, and I put him in my wife's.
Jake clearly liked it.
He liked it?
He's already gone.
Fantastic. Now, I have been up since 10:15 last night, so I'm starving, but the soup is delicious.
The soup is good.
Take a look at the
little fried. Oh, those are delicious.
Yes, what I did is just you blanch them like Jim said, and they get or parboil them just for a little bit, and then you dip them in breadcrumbs and kind of coat them and just fry them until they get lightly golden brown, like you see. Yeah, I thought that turned out really good.
They have a wonderful smell too. It smells like a grilled cheese to me almost, like the crusted.
And just like the regular old parsnips, I don't think I've ever tried parsnips before today.
It's been a long time since I've had.
Yeah, but the sweeter version almost tastes like if a pear was a vegetable. I don't know how else to describe it besides that.
That's a pretty good description, because they are, because like Jim said, he leaves them in the ground over winter, and they get a lot sweeter.
Yeah.
And they do kind of almost a little bit more like a fruit than a potato or a starch.
But they're tasty. Yeah, the deep fried one.
I might try to grow them in the future.
Yeah, I think this is my first experience with them too. And shout out your wife for the amazing soup, and I also like what you did with the hot ones here.
Delicious.
I'm a parsnips fan now. Who would have known?
Yeah, thanks to Jim as well.
Thank you. Well, don't go anywhere. We have your top stories coming up after the break.